What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Cliff's Backyard Garage. Today I'm gonna be over here playing with my 1970 Cadillac Coupe DeVille. I gotta rebuild the carburetor on it because the accelerator pump is out. Mainly all it really needs is the accelerator pump, but that's what we're gonna be tackling today. I do have videos, 2 other videos that I'm gonna be putting out. I don't know when, guys. I purchased a new project, but I need to get the paperwork for it before I release everything. You know, don't want nobody coming up screaming, "Oh, that's my car, my truck," after they decided they didn't want it. So, but that's another situation. But today we're gonna be working on the Cadillac. Like I said, I need to pull the carburetor off. The accelerator pump's not working, but other than that, the carb is fine. But you know, I've had this car for 20 years, and I think I need to go ahead and go through that. I'm already stripping it down for repaint, re-interior, whole 9 yards. So we'll go ahead and get this cover pulled off so you guys can see what we're working with. All right, here she is. That's my 1970 Cadillac Coupe DeVille. You know, just recently rained today. Normally this car wouldn't be covered. It would be covered all the time, but today's rain, I decided, let me work on this because I don't want that cover to sit on there. Has enough rust issues. Nothing major, light rust, but and let's go ahead and dig into this carburetor. I'm gonna bring you guys in a little closer. All right, this is what I'm working with. It is a 472 big block. Standard equipment on the 1970 Cadillac Coupe DeVilles. You either had this or a 500, but it's the 472 flavor. I'm trying to find a good place to put you guys up there. But yeah, she needs to be gone through because the old accelerator pump is not working anymore. Oh, now that I say that, it's pumping. Oh wow. Not really. It just went out again. I'm betting that's the moisture in there doing that. But yeah, the accelerator pump, now you hear it not squirting, but the first 2 times it did. Now that's crazy. So I'll go ahead and pull this sucker off, and I'm gonna get her over in the little shed over here. I'm gonna do a little bench rebuild. You know what I mean, what I'm going to do, you really can't call it a rebuild because I'm not going to be sticking this thing in the ultrasonic cleaner or none of that, because basically because I don't have one yet. It's on my to-do list. But yeah, I'm basically going to just be cleaning it out, replacing the accelerator pump, and just so I can get in here and pat the gas 2 or 3 times, man, she fire off. Now what I have to do now, which I'm going to show you guys, is get in here and basically get a workout on my foot, trying to get this thing crunk. But yeah, so we go grab the keys real quick, and I'll show you what she's doing, and we'll rebuild it, and hopefully I can show you it's doing what I like. Alright guys, as soon as I press the button, my air conditioner started running. You know, I do live in Las Vegas. It's really not hot today. It's humid. Like I said, it just rained. Hadn't rained here in almost 200 days, but let's look at this Cadillac. These are the seats. I don't know if you've seen anybody seen the video of me going to the junkyard getting these seats. These are the seats I'm putting in the back. We still have the originals. Get that out the way. We still have the old original seats in the back. I'm gonna have the back seats redone with the interior to kind of match the front, you know. Now, I went with the Cadillac DHS. I think that's right. Don't quote me. Seats in here, mainly because I like the style, and you know, the old Cadillac had that bent seat, man. You know, everybody in the front had to sit the same way as the driver, and I'm a short dude, so you might be in the steering wheel messing around with me a little bit. But and what I did like about these seats, you know, they come with the armrest, you know what I'm saying, and still can be used as a seat. So if I wanted to put 3 people in the front, I could. 3 people in the back, I still can carry 6. Back in the day, I used to squeeze 8 in this sucker, but you know, hey, it's a Cadillac. What else you supposed to do with it? All right, so I'm gonna get in here and show you guys what I've been going through since I brought the car back down from Arizona, from my dad's house. You know, sit out there in that extremely hot heat. It's way hotter than Vegas down there, but let me show you guys what I got going on. Now see, I didn't pat the gas because when I did pump the accelerator a little bit up under the hood, it did squirt a little, but nothing. But this is what I've been having to go through, get this thing crunked. I mean, just I just gave her about 20 pats there and she still ain't doing nothing. So that accelerator pump is shot. Okay, I hear a little something. Let's see. Now she does run. She does run good. It's not pretty right now, but it's gonna get under there. She idles fine. Everything's fine. It's just that the accelerator pump, and I do need to rehook up the electric choke. But this is Vegas. Really don't need it. I mean, even though it just rained out here, it's still 100 degrees. So I don't want it to get too hot. Let's go ahead and just pull this sucker off. Get her over here in the shed, and let's get it working on her. Alright, I'm gonna get in here and take the carb off real quick. Go ahead and loosen up all the bolts and everything. Oh, that wasn't tight. You know, come to think about it, I think I had this carb off when I first brought it from Arizona. That was about 2 years ago. Let's put that right back there. So I don't lose anything. Springs off. Let's see. This fuel line is going to be a little tough. On my fuel line here, you see is rubber. That's because when I first got the car, this car came from Beverly Hills, California. But when I first got it, it was a leak in the metal line, which I still have in the trunk. And I put one of these little airline fittings for the hose. It's the grip lock. So it has those like little ridges that hold the hose on. So we'll have to play with that. But let's get these bolts off real quick. We got 2½ inches in the back. Now see this, now, you guys looking at this engine probably saying, damn, it's dirty. But in my defense, I just cleaned this motor 3 months ago. That's why I got the car cover now, because like I say, I live in Las Vegas. This is the middle of the desert. And dude, it's dry around here all the time, but like it just rained today, so. But majority of the time in Vegas, man, it's dry. It hadn't rained in almost 200 days out here. I think I just said that earlier. But that's why I got a car cover on it. That in the sun, because the sun out here will cook your interior to death. I mean, my interior is already cooked, that's why I'm changing it, but I'm trying to fight this dust right now. That is my biggest issue right now, for dust. Alright. It's not much on here. I got the vacuum line for the training. And this line here is for the brake booster. Put that on. And like I say, it's not much holding this on. We have a hose for the distributor for the vacuum in advance. And we have this hose down here for the crankshaft. It goes to the valve cover. I forgot what it's for. And yeah. I got this hose on here. You know, this hose here, I don't know where it goes. I'm gonna figure it out before we put it back on, but it's been capped off forever. Well, it's been capped off ever since I had it. And you know what? I'm thinking about the wrong car. I need to replace this with my choke on my car, on this car. The whole arm is gone. And truthfully, I think it's been gone since I had it. But here comes the fight. This hose. Let me grab a screw flat head, see if I can persuade it to come off. Yeah. You know, this thing here is on tight, dude. It holds. It grips. I still got a hose clamp on it, but I just noticed I didn't even put the hose clamp back on when I put the carb on. Alright, it's off. That's not so bad. Now this gas in this thing is only about 3 months old. It's already turning dark. It's crazy. Yeah, that's it. Just got to get the this piece off. Alright, let me go grab a pair of pliers. Stop you guys so you're not staring at blankness. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. Get that hose off real quick. That gas is spilling out, and I'm telling you, it's kind of dark. Only a 3-month-old gas. Cause I just put the gas tank back in the car, flushed it, cleaned it out, ran all new fuel lines in the back, put a brand new fuel pump on this car, and all new fuel lines. So the whole fuel system has been redone. And it only took me a year to do it. I took the gas tank off and it sat on the side of the house for a whole year before I felt like doing it. Let's see, let's just disconnect that and take that whole thing. We'll get that off. Matter of fact, probably just replace that hose anyway. Well, there it is. It's not much to take off, you know. The intake looks really clean down in there. I didn't expect it not to. I know when we popped the hood, the cover was off, the breather was off, but it's laying over here on the ground. I popped it off earlier before I took the cover off, just to make sure I had everything I need, you know, to take it off, which I should know like the back of my head. But let's get on in here and rebuild this sucker real quick, freshen it up, clean it up inside and out, and see you guys in the shed. Right, I got the carb in here on the bench. I went ahead and sprinted it off with some brake cleaner. Looks like I used a bit much. I had to run go get some more. But full disclaimer before I even start, I have never been inside a Quadrajet, ever. Now I've rebuilt some Holleys, 2 barrels and 4 barrels, and about 400 or 500 of these scooter carburetors. You guys look over there on the shelf. That's my scooter part shelf for my scooter parts. Yeah. But this is the beast we're gonna tackle today. So as I'm looking at this, I do notice there is a series of flathead screws all around. And from the way this thing is looking, there's 2 in here. I think I'm gonna have to take these 2 out too, because all this looks like one big plate. And all these little levers, and I'm assuming that I'm only going to be able to get these off once I loosen the top. I can finagle and twist everything around unless I start taking other stuff apart that I probably don't want to do. So let's get started. Okay, quick observation. Looking at this carburetor, I can tell I am not the first one in it. You know, to come to think about it, I had this carburetor rebuilt about, how old is my oldest daughter? This carburetor's been, I had this thing rebuilt, I want to say 14 years ago. Yeah, I almost forgot about that. Alright, just gonna try to just buzz these things off real quick. I'm gonna get the rest of these screws out and I'll be right back with you guys and show you, and we're gonna see what we see on the inside, okay? Everybody, I got the top off. Top is off. I was right about those 2 screws down there because I removed the rest of them and didn't want to lift up any. So I went ahead and took those 2 out and it moved around. Now the hardest part about getting this top off is removing all these little levers, you know what I'm saying? The little rods. Yeah, you got the rod for the choke here. You know, it comes up through there and goes in there, but what made it easy, there's a little pin right here that holds the accelerator pump armature, whatever you call it, I don't know. And once I pushed that one back, I was able to get the other ones off. It was easy to lift since it was pretty much the only one on this side. Had 2 on the other side to get off. Took that one off, I was able to move it around and get it off, so no big deal. I'm looking at the back of this thing. There's a little crud in here and here. These 2 needles got some crud on them. They don't look bad. Nothing looks bad. I mean, actually, I don't know what the hell I'm looking at or doing, but that's neither here nor there. We're here now. But yeah, it's a little crusty, a little cruddy. I don't want to bend those needles. Here's the main problem. Here's why we are in this thing in the first place. The accelerator pump. This blue rubber here is worn out. You know, it slides along in this chamber up and down. And to squirt fuel, I'm not sure. I think they are out of here and here, I think. Not sure. But we'll figure it out when I put it back together. Let's go ahead and just remove this gasket since I got a whole nother kit. Go ahead and remove this gasket. Now I've used that Walker kit on the Hollies and I really hadn't had a problem with them. Now I think this is my float. I think I got to remove this first. Okay, the thing kind of does like a little whoop-de-doo around there and back up. Let's see, can I get this off without losing it? Might be one in the kit, I don't know, I hadn't opened it yet. So, yeah. Well, that doesn't want to come off willingly. Let's just try to pull the rest of the gasket up real quick. Just tear it up because it's got a whole new one anyway. All right. See if I can get that little piece of that out there. So let's see. Okay. I think I can get it up like this. You go find my little tiny needle noses. I'm going to need them here. Alright, this little spring piece looks like it's just going to be stuck there. Alright, here's my float. Right there. Alright, see if I can get this out and see what's up under this thing. I have no idea what you call this piece. It's a big black piece of rubber. Now, I don't know. It's some crud down in there. It doesn't look too awfully bad. It's a little cruddy, but I don't know. Let's let me play with this float for a minute. Get this thing out of here and look at this a little closer and see what I got going on before I tear in it before I tear into it too far. I'll be right back with you guys. Let me just go ahead and do a little surveying before I mess something up. Be right back. Alrighty, I got the float out and float plunger, and I have no idea what this damn thing is. I know there's a new one in the box, but this thing was super crusty down in there. I mean super crusty. So let's look inside the car best we can. You guys see it now. That gas in there looks hella old, but it's really not old. I mean, like I say, it's only like 3 months old. I mean, that says a lot about the gas that we're getting today. It ain't worth 5 cents, but yeah, there's a lot of sand and dirt and all kind of crud down in this thing. So I'm gonna go take this thing outside and spray it out. I need to pull this piece off here. There should be like a copper-like filter behind that thing, but I got to be careful because I do think there's a check ball or something right down in there. I'm not sure if I got one in the kit. Yeah, it should be right about in there. But let me go dump this thing over on top of a cloth or something. See if I can find a check ball, and then I'm gonna clean it up and I'll be right back. Alright, I took it outside and sprayed and cleaned it out a little bit, and I went through all these little holes and jets and tubes, pathways, orifices, whatever you want to call it. I came back in and took these 2 screws out here. There's one here and one there, and that removed the bottom plate. So now we almost got the sucker all the way broke down. Still need to remove that hose, but yeah, I'm glad I decided to, to go in a little bit deeper, because and she's crusty. She is crusty. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the rest of these gaskets and stuff real quick. Get this crud out of here so we can put her back together. I hope I have enough carb spray, because I got more crud the deeper I went in it. So find my screwdriver. Maybe this plate enough work. I'm just gonna scrape the primer off of it from the last project I was doing. Probably can't. You know what? Got a razor blade. There we go. Let's get this gasket off. Yeah. Just want to get this off and clean this sucker up real good. Figure I just wish I had an ultrasonic cleaner right now. When I get one, Let's come back in and take it apart and clean it all up, but it's gonna be a while from now. The Cadillac has a long way to go before I get that deep into it, you know. And now I'm just trying to buy a house, saving money up, you know. I'm doing these little YouTube videos on the side, a little fun, just to keep me from going and blowing my whole paycheck like I used to do. So you guys watch these videos are kind of helping me out. You know, I do live in Vegas, and it ain't hard to blow a check. It is not. Alrighty, which gasket we just take off? Where did I go? Where did it put it? This one's from the top. That's how quick you can lose stuff in here. Oh, there we go. Alright, so this must be the base gasket. I see the circles around. That's good because I needed a new one anyway. And alright, is this the same one? Yep. Here we go, that new gasket. Now, the material looks way different. Way different. I don't know. There's only one way it goes on. I'm not about to put it on. I need to clean all this up first. Just surveying the playing field. Alright, so we got that base gasket. Now there's a check ball in here. One didn't come out, so I'm gonna have to go grab a different light source and look down in there and make sure it's stuck. It's not stuck down in there somewhere. Let's see, we got this rubber foam piece here. We got the new clips for the rods on the side of the car. What do you call those? Armature rod, whatever. And got some O-rings, we want to call it, for the fill filter part. Yeah, that's a weird one. I haven't seen one of those gaskets in there yet. Haven't seen this gasket yet. I'm assuming this is probably goes to the base since. Alright, yeah, that goes with the base. Somehow, some way. Goes there. And here is my top gasket to replace that one. I do notice these gaskets are not as thick as the original. Probably should try to keep it in one piece since it wasn't tore. Too late now. Oh well. Alright, and this is for the air cleaner base. Alright, cool. I got a new little pin that goes right in here for the accelerator pump. That's cool. I'll just push the other one out the other side, or just reuse it because it looks like it's going to be a little pain to get at. So, alrighty. I don't know if you guys can see, but over here I tried to lay out my carburetor screws the way they go, but to tell you the truth, didn't have to do that. These two are the only different ones. The rest of them are the same size and length. So, I mean, but if it's your first time rebuilding anything, try to lay your stuff out to where you can put it all back together, you know? Let's go ahead and take this off. I'm curious. I don't even know what's under here. I got a new one, so I'm gonna peel it off. Huh. That's crazy. It's on there. Try not to slice my fingers off. Now, I don't know if this thing is held on with some type of glue or it's just been sitting there that long. Well, since the last guy I had do this, I don't think he did this far. I don't think he went this far. And looking at the level of the dirt on the carb, I'm starting to think he didn't go as far as I'm going now. Because pretty much this car has been sitting 17 years. I've had it 20. I drove it 3 years and pretty much parked it. It's been I mean, it's been parked longer than my oldest child has been on the earth. You know, priorities kicked in. This car's enjoyment. It wasn't a priority. That's foam stuff now. I'm starting to wonder if I was even supposed to take this off, but I do have a new one, so I'm assuming, I'm almost certain I was supposed to take it off. I don't want to. In fact, let's see what's on the other side of this. Okay, that's where those two needles went there. Let's see if we can just poke through that. Like I say, I'm assuming the check ball goes in here. I might have to go to the old Google machine in a sec once I get this off. There's now, in Hollies, there's a check ball, and it's usually under something that's like this, and I'm thinking it presses against that piece there. That kind of looks broken. I don't know. I'm looking at this carb now, and I'm thinking, dude really didn't do anything when he did what he did to it, because I can't imagine you would take a carb off and still have all of that crud there still on it. Now, he took it off and brought it back and put it back on. I'm starting to think he just replaced my carb with one that he know that worked, because my other carb was leaking. Starting to think I've been got. Starting to think I got 17 years ago and just now figuring it out. That is sad. Oh well. Alright, I'm gonna cut you guys off for a minute. I'm gonna break out the wire brush and gently take that off and see what's going on there. I'm gonna clean up the rest of this body, and then I guess we can go back with assembly. I'm gonna look up that check ball location first. I'm thinking it should have went right down in there. Simply, my reasoning for that is because it has a spring, and I know on Ford carburetors, motorcraft carburetors, that usually only a spring in the area something like this, there's a check ball, because there's really no other reason for this spring to be in there unless they had a check ball. So I don't know. Let me clean all this stuff up and I'll be back. Alright everybody, I'm back. I had to go change clothes. It was forgot I had my good clothes on, my good work clothes, you know. Alright, so everything's all cleaned up. I went ahead and cleaned up the inside a little bit better. It was a little bit more grime and stuff inside some of these little tight little corners that went and got a brush and scrubbed it all out. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this thing back together now. This gasket is tight. That's a good thing though. Try to get it back together without tearing this new gasket. Go ahead and put the bottom plate back on first. I want to kind of get this down around these little circles of these little pegs here a little bit better than it is. I don't know. I don't want to put too much force on it to break it. Alright, it should be fine. I guess we're going to start with putting the bottom plate back on. Yeah, I did all the cleaning. I didn't even take that hose off, man. And it kind of turned out not to be in my way, so I just let it be. Sometimes you just gotta let it be. Oh, I was forgetting. This little foam pad. I do not know what this pad does, what it is for. But there was one there. We're gonna put one back there. So let's see. And I think it's turned the right way. Seems like it wants to sit that way. Maybe I should just set it in here. There we go. Yeah, I'm sure that's probably right. Or not. We'll find out. Alright. Well, I'm going to assemble the bottom end and get that back together, then I'll turn you guys back on. I mean, just gotta tighten the 2 screws down, but I don't want to waste too much of you guys' time. Alright, be right back. Alright everybody, I got the bottom back together. It was just those 2 little screws, but went ahead and cinched that up. Bottom plate back on. Now what I'm doing is removing the needle and seat. I guess this is the old seat where the fuel plunger for the floats, you know, where they went to. Let's go ahead and replace that. That's a brand new one in there, brand new plunger. I think a little clip that holds the plunger, a little washer that goes down in there. So just got to get the little washer out right quick. Hopefully it's not stuck in there like Gorilla Glue. That's my little hook. Let's go ahead and just try to finesse that out of there. And let's go ahead and just kind of put this one down here first. Line it up. Looking down in here, it's kind of a little place that it sits. I don't know if you guys can see way down in there, but this little washer has a little indentation where it sits around the seat. So let's go ahead and drop in the seat. Screw it back down. Oops. That didn't go right. Alright, see, can I get it back up and get it back in the hole? Come on, baby. There we go. Get started with my finger, maybe. Yeah, I need a big wide screwdriver for this. I got one, but I won't be able to find it when I'm looking for it. Everybody know that goes like a 10 mil. Never around when you need it. I don't want to mar that up too much. The other one wasn't in there extremely tight either. But this thing has been gone through before. Alrighty, let's see. Can I put the float in first? The float's still a little dirty. See, that's going to be in the way of that piece. I'm not putting it in right now. I'm just trying to see, is it going to be in the way? I still have this little thing in the middle. I don't know what to call it to go in. No. Okay. So I can go ahead and put the float in. You guys excuse me. It is, the sun has gone down and it's still hot. I mean H-O-T, hot in here. Put that little clip on the plunger. And that holds it up here on the back side of the float. Trying to see if I can finesse it around into the other side of the hole. You'll be able to get it in there with my pick. So truthfully, I don't think it was even hooked in there like that. Maybe we should just take the plunger off and try to get it in there. I see it has 2 holes. I'm assuming this little hook then goes in one hole and hooks out the other. I really don't remember how it was when I took it off because it just fell right out. You know, and that kind of what scared me off from carburetors when I first started working on them. You take them apart, stuff falls out, you didn't see where it came from. Okay. You know what? I'm not going to toy around with this too much. Let's just go ahead and see if I can hook it from the back. Pull it through. Push it through. That's crazy. This thing is fighting me. You know what? I'm not sure that's the way it's supposed to go either. Alright guys, I'm gonna cut you off for a second. I'm gonna come right back. I'm gonna figure this float out, and then we're just gonna go ahead and put this thing on together. It's getting late. Alright guys, I'm back. I got it on there. Seems to be right. We'll find out in a second. Oops, it didn't even go nowhere near the hole. I'm gonna tell you one thing, guys. I'll take the dry heat over this humidity that we got going on in Vegas from the rains earlier today, any day. I am sweating like the Amazon out here. All right. And for some reason that is jamming up. I don't know why. Try it again. Something is not right. There we go. I got it. All right. So if it's right, I should be able to blow on it, and when the float comes up, it'll stop me from blowing. All right, needling and seating. Okay, now this is the part that got me a little baffled, because I'm almost 1000% sure there's supposed to be a check ball that was in this hole, and there was not one. Now, like I said, I did have a guy supposedly rebuilt this carburetor for me, but that was about 17 years ago, and now I'm starting to suspect that he did not rebuild it. Yeah, I was supposed to go there because it sits perfectly. Yeah, he came over, he took the carb, and he came back next day and put a carb on. I don't really think he rebuilt it now. I think he just had one that ran decent, took my money and ran. In situations like that is why I started to do my own work, man. It's not the first time that happened to me. Oh, before I even put this all the way in. All right, whatever this piece is called, you can see, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but there are tool marks all over it from pair of pliers or something. I got a new cork little gasket that goes on there, put that in there, and kind of figured out it came apart. And I'm guessing it should have moved, because I don't know if you guys noticed, but when I took it apart, it was stuck. It wouldn't move. And well, it's moving now. I cleaned this thing up with the wire brush, and I went ahead and went through all the orifices, all the pathways, and jets with my jet cleaners. I got 2 different styles. I use these a lot for cleaning motorcycle carburetors. So I went through all the little jets and holes and cleaned them out, you know, blew them out with the old brake cleaner. So let's make sure I'm not missing nothing. Float is floating. There's really no adjustment to it. It is what it is, kind of deal. And this piece needs to go on, but I'm thinking it needs to go on after this gasket. So, and that's the only part that's going to be crazy. It goes that way. Is getting these two little needles that fit down into this piece into their little hole. There's two little holes. Let me show you. If you can see, right down in there, right down in there, there's two little holes on either side, and these needles kind of fit down there in them little holes. All right, before I get too far ahead of myself, I need to fix the main problem while we can. The accelerator pump. Yeah, and you can see it's dried out. This thing is just dry rotted. That's why it was taking me forever to get fuel up there. So let me go ahead and take this apart and put the new one on wherever. Oh, there you go. Yeah, let me go ahead and put this new one on, put this thing all together. That's the new one. It's the old one. You can kind of tell it's not even the same size no more. It's roughly a little bit bigger. This thing is all smooth. So let me go ahead and get this together, and I'll go ahead and finish putting the carburetor back together, and I guess in the morning we'll put it on and see what it runs like. All right, be right back. All right, everybody, I got the new rubber on inside the accelerator pump, and I went in and dipped it in a little gasoline. I wanted to just make a dry run out of it. I mean, since I cleaned it off, that thing is pretty dry, but yeah, it feels like it's going to be doing what it needs to do. Alrighty, I guess we can go ahead now and put the top on. Put my gasket back on here. Double check, double check, double check. Look around the table, make sure I'm not missing nothing. Everything seems to be in. Old parts out, new parts in. Okay, let's go ahead and put a gasket down. I guess I'm about to flip this thing around so I can try to line those holes up. See, that's the only problem I think I'm going to have. It's putting this thing back on and lining these two little spikes back into the holes that they came out of. Is that the way they went? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. It's just fighting me. Let's try it the other way. Nope. It's definitely not right. Alright guys, I'm about to cut you off for a sec. I gotta figure this out. Because these things are not wanting to go back where they belong. You know what? I think these are supposed to be on the outside instead of the inside. Alright, let me figure this out and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I had to play around with this little thing here, man, but I finally got it in. I mean, I guess you were supposed to kind of pull back up the gasket and see where they went. I mean, that's the only way I could see to get these two needles that went straight down into like the little seats that they went into. But it's in there now. I'm just gonna try to now figure out how to get the top on. I got needles hanging from this sucker too, but you know, looking at it, I can take those off. They're attached to this bar here in the middle with the screw. I think I can take them off. Oh, let's try it real quick. Hey, if I don't get this thing right, I'll just go order a new one. But I figured, hey, I got the brake cleaner, and I choose to use the brake cleaner over the carb cleaner because they didn't have a big enough can and brake cleaner and a carb cleaner, and I'd have to get more than one. And I'm being a cheapskate today. Sort of like every day, but nothing different. All right, let's get this thing off. Okay, now if that comes off, this is gonna make my life a whole lot easier. Looks like it does. But hey, like I say, guys, I've never rebuilt a QUADRAJET. You know, a lot of people tell me they're aggravating and all this and that. You know, hey, I believe you. I see what you're talking about. You know, no doubt. But it's like anything else in the world. You do it a couple times, and all of a sudden, you know what you're doing. It just happens like that one day. You just wake up and, hey, I know how to do it. So I'm not afraid to fail. So here's me giving it a try. And get that straight. I don't know if that needle, those two needles stayed where they were supposed to, but I got it in there. Accelerator pump. Pumping. I think it's pumping. It's going up and down. You can just say that. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and start assembling this sucker, man. You know, I did my best to get everything right, cleaned everything. I did not mix with the mixture screws. I didn't mess with those because it was running pretty good in the first place. Like I said, it was just the accelerator pump, but if I'm gonna take it apart, we might as well take it all the way apart, you know, clean it up, make it right. And hey, and if it's not right, you know, well, I'll buy a new one. No big deal. Just wanted to give my hand a try at it. And for all in all, it really wasn't that bad. You know, I think the hardest part I'm gonna have is putting these linkages back on. Oh, I just remember. Nope, I'm gonna have to do it a different way because those two needles inside were hard enough to get the top back on without them coming out of their spot. So if I gotta take these pieces apart on the side from the choke or over here, then that's what I'm just gonna have to do. I think it'd be a whole lot easier to take those back apart and figure those out like how they go, than to go back through taking this lid off and trying to balance everything to put it back on. Let's see. I don't want to put everything too tight. I might take those two center screws down here and the first two set of barrels out, just in case I need a little bit of wiggle room to get one of these linkages on. Let's just kind of get everything set where it goes for now. I'm trying to cross thread that, and then it feel right. Loosen these two back up. Might be off just a little bit. Move it around. We ain't trying to cross thread, buddy. You know what? Give it a little lube. Yeah, that's too much lube. That's enough for both of them. You know, screws feel real tight going in now. Like, I don't want to cross thread them. It could just be from me, you know, cleaning them out. The holes are dry now, so. Also could be the gasket down there. Just grab a screwdriver and take it slow, I guess. There we go. It's just a gasket. Just a gasket. It's just a little tight right around that spot. Hey, that's good enough. Let's see. I don't want to go too tight till we get these linkages put back together. Now, let me go with the easiest one, I think it is. Well, first put these back in. And clean these up a little bit. Go ahead and give it a good little rub down, man, you know. I don't know what to call these. If anybody know what these needles are here on the top and the needles that were on the bottom, put it down in the comments, man. Help a brother out, you know. That way next time I do it, I know what to call them. Just trust you me. Once I start doing one, I get kind of addicted. You guys can kind of tell about a pile of scooter parts over here in the corner, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Once I learn how to do something, dude, I kind of get a little obsession going on. All right, this screw right here back in the middle. And go ahead and tighten this one all the way up. Alrighty. Now let's see. I'm not too concerned about the choke side, like I say, because we are in the middle of the desert, and don't quite too often get to use chokes around here. Alright, we are missing something on this side over here. Oh, Jesus. You guys just sit there and watch me put that back together and didn't say nothing. Well, I guess I will be going back through the top. Good, we didn't put everything back down tight. You know, hey, not perfect. I'll show you guys my screw ups, you know. I'll take this sucker right back off. And put those back in. Oh, she already don't want to go. Never mind. Two in the middle. Two in the middle. Hey, where's my magnet? Get these suckers out real quick. Maybe I can just let them sit there. All right. Yep, we're gonna have to do it all over again. I'm not gonna turn you guys off this time. We'll just see, that easy. All right, what I did to get these go in, I pulled up the gasket on this side. Kind of just lined it up. You know when you got them both, when it just bounces up and down. I see it's a little harder now with that little spacer piece in there. Alright, now the fight is on. Thought I had won the battle, man. There we go. That wasn't that hard. Alrighty. Let's get the top back on. Let's take the screws back out of this. Pull those two needles out. Hope I'm not bending them sitting this thing down like this, but I kind of got to do it one-handed right now. Yeah, it looks fine. Okay, let's do this again. Let's get top back on. Let's get these screws out of here. They're gonna mess me up. Let's get them all out. I'm telling you, man, it is hot out here. Already pump in. There we go. Cool beans, man. Oh, nope, not two cool beans. Screws. Come on. Alright, get the screwdriver. See, can we just turn you guys? There we go. Alright. I'm assuming they went in there, because I don't think the top would have laid down if those two needles didn't seat in their holes, and which I got them back in, so we should be good. I'm gonna hope we're good. I'm gonna leave these a little loose. All right, now I think we got everything back in there. If not, if anything is left out now, you know, we're gonna throw it in the extra parts bin. Okay. Now, let's find our arm for the accelerator pump. I don't think I want to put that in just yet. I want to come over here first and find the choke lever and get the choke on first. Okay, this one went down inside, that's right. I need a little light. You know what, I do have another light. Let me turn it on. There we go, much brighter. Okay. I can see down in there. Try and get this little choke arm back on. Oh, this is gonna, little sucker's gonna be hard to see, huh? You know, it's funny how these things just come right out without you barely even touching them. But then when you want to put everything back together, man, it fights you. Come on, baby. You're making me look bad on the old tubers. Let's see. I'm fighting with this thing. Come on. That was it? Almost. DeWalt seeking to shine some light on the subject. Yeah. Stick it right in there and twist. Stop moving. Alright, I'm probably going to fast forward to this part of the tape for you guys because this thing wants to play me. He wants to fight with me. I'll shut you guys off for a second. I'm gonna fight with this choke for a minute. I'll be back. Alright guys, y'all cut out there for a minute. That old SD card, it just ran out of memory. Didn't have enough space. So I ran on down to the Wally Mart and got a new one. 128 gigabytes, so we should be good for a while now. But the old carb is back on. I got all the linkages on, all the vacuum lines, the fuel line. Hook that old line back over there. So we should be good. Just going to pour some gas down the bowl here, down this little part right here. That's the bowl. Just gonna try to fill it up without making a mess. I need to give me a good squirt jug to do this, but I'm gonna work with what I got for right now. Just try to get this thing filled up a little bit so that fuel pump can catch back up. I don't know how far that fuel went back down the line, but I don't want to crank on this battery too long. A little bit down there. I don't know. I don't think I'll put enough in, but let's go ahead and turn this thing because I got some other obligations I gotta handle today. So let's see. All right, let's hope we don't start no fires, y'all. You know what? All right. Ooh. She fired right off, sounding real good. Let's go check it out before I give her some gas. Now she does need a tune up. I do see a little bit of gas right on the accelerator pump, but I think that's the gas I just spilled. Oh yeah, sounding really good. Yeah, I don't know why in the world she just idled up like that. Let's give her a look over. I got a little smoke coming off the back. I think that's the transmission fluid I just put in it not too long ago. But I don't know, man. Oh, well, I see some smoke coming off from this little piece here that hooks to this to my choke. Okay. I figured it out. All right, I missed the linkage putting it back on. All right. Well, catastrophe averted. At least I know what's going on. She got an extra dose of fuel. You can see the wetness back there. So them secondaries that kicked in when the flap was closed. So, all right. Let me just figure this out real quick and we'll fire it back up. All right, I'll cut you guys back in a sec.